Alright, so the last little bit of that box got cut off because my camera ran out of space. Fortunately, it's only like a minute or two of recording, but got some cool stuff in here. Young Pyromancer. I like this foil chunk winder. Interesting cards. Zern Orb is a good find there. Goblin Anarchomancer, Faithless Looting. Some good cards there. Vitalize. So pretty decent stuff in that box. Let's move on to another one. So we've got a few things left in here. Another bundle box, a couple of these things. There's some interesting stuff under there. Whatever, let's go with this one that I have in my hand right now. In here we have, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Magic cards, can you believe it? Okay, Commander Master stuff, that's interesting. It's like a whole bunch of random stuff. Another Lembas. Finding a lot of Lembas, but that's okay. For it's a good card. Found a gilded foil out of New Capenna here. It's not a very particularly interesting one, but hey, it's a gilded foil. It's cool. It's also, so in Modern Horizons 3, there are some really good uncommons. These aren't the particularly good ones, but they're kind of mid-range ones, but it's interesting they're in French here. A couple of ones. Pretty much any of the lands, the flip lands or whatever, where you can pay 3 life and have them come in untapped. Any of those are relevant uncommons. Now, Sorceress Spyglass here used to be actually a pretty good rare from, I believe, original Ixalan. I think it was more, I want to say probably more than $5 at one point, and now it's a uncommon. So in that box there, let's see, I pulled out a bunch of random stuff. Let's see what kind of good stuff we found. Lava Dart's alright. I think this is an okay token, a Human Monk. These bridges are okay. Tormod's Crypt. Foil Village Rites is alright as well. Nothing huge. Probably the best card is going to be that one Lembas, I imagine. But there's stuff worth taking out. Alright, let's do this bundle boxes from Magic Origins. We got sleeves. Are there cards? These sleeves look rather played. It's almost like they're yellow on top, but they're actually white sleeves. That's pretty gross, actually. There's some cards in those pink ones. Case of the Uneaten Feast. This is a card where I have a lot of it. I think this card is really good, and I'm surprised that it's as cheap as it is, because there's an uncommon that does this. It does exactly this. I believe it's called a Johnny's Welcome. That's an uncommon that's like $3 to $5 or something, and this does exactly that as an enchantment, but this and also this. So it's just a Johnny's Welcome plus more. But for some reason, this card is way cheaper. Wow, surprised to see that in there. Aftermath Analyst. I usually hold on to Escape Tunnel. And a couple of Tithing Blades. That's another good common from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I don't think I've ever seen this card before, Carry Away. It's kind of cool, though. You enchant an equipment, you unattach it, and you control that equipment. I see that being pretty good. In that box, there was some alright stuff actually too. Some of these lands. So Malevolent Rumble, that's a good card from a good common from Modern Horizons 3. Wear Down, Coruscation Mage. Ooze is a good token from Karlov Manor. Usually hold on to cards like this, anything that gains life when creatures come into play, or any of these discard a card, draw 2 cards, things like that. Another one of these flip lands from Modern Horizons 3. Lethal Demolition, some alright stuff. We got one more of these white boxes. We'll go through this. Looks like it's probably just going to be a whole bunch more random stuff again. Audacity is, well, it was good. It's not so much anymore. It's not in standard. Still worth taking out at least. That box, nothing terribly exciting in that one either. Some alright commons, things like this. Anyway, we'll move on to the next box. You can have another look. Which one should I take? How about this? A Kamigawa Neon Dynasty pre-release kit box. And in it, there's Zendikar Rising stuff. Joyra's Familiar is actually pretty good now. It's worth holding on to. Interesting. I don't know if I have this worm. I'm gonna check that one. There's a couple of smaller cards in that one. What about this green deck box? Dominaria United stuff. Nukapana. Dread Return in that one, and nothing else really. But this Crimson Vow pre-release kit box. Nothing really there either. What set is this? Probably Dominaria United pre-release kit box. In that one, there was a Feed the Swarm and a Wayfarer's Bauble. That's all that was worth taking out. We got this black Ultra Pro deck box here. Apparently it belonged to Chris. Chris, if you're looking for your deck box, got it right here. It looked like there was kind of a couple of old school red-black decks. Terminate was pretty much the only good card in there. At least the only one that I saw. But we got a couple boxes left. So we have 2 bundles and then another one of those old boxes. Actually, this isn't even a bundle. This is a Deckbuilder's toolkit box. Okay. What random variety of cards will we find in here? It's almost like these cards have like sand in them, like in between them or something, and it makes it difficult to fan through them. There's an actual old Mind Stone. It's not even just retro frame, it is the old one. It's a super beat up Pariah there, that's funny. What is this? Okay. Let's try and decipher this. Chomano Revolutionary. However, does that say condiment? Revolutionary card. Chomani. I don't know. The heck? Dragon Slayer Barbie. This is somebody's custom card, I guess. First, okay, so it's a white, 2/1. First strike, pro, black, and red. Return it to your hand. Wait, return Dragon Slayer Barbie to your hand to bury target dragon or drake. Okay. It's actually pretty fair in terms of custom cards, how people make them. That's cool. I think it's neat. A couple of interesting things in that box there. Well, armadillo cloaks. The card's pretty good because it's like lifelink, but it's not actually lifelink. It's way better. Alright, here we've got Baldur's Gate bundle. With Fate Reforged cards. Remember when Gurmag Angler was good? Now Murktide isn't even good enough. How much in that one either? Rotting Rats is a pretty good common, and then actually these lands are worth holding on to as well. These are new Capana lands that sacrifice themselves. Okay, 1 box left to go. It's... I knocked stuff over. It's this old box, which is in pretty rough shape. What year is this one from? 1999, okay. Okay, we got what looks like green cards in here. Maybe we'll find something cool. Yeah, wild growth. I take out any wild growths. Got a revised one here. It's actually... well, it's in lightly played condition. Alright, in this box, mostly just a bunch of wild growths and rampant growths, some Llanowar elves. I find, I think, 3 copies of Vitalize, though, which is actually a pretty good card, so that one's alright. A couple Cultivates as well, a Harrow. I think Common Verse is a cool card. It's one that I usually hold on to when I find it. 4 mana sorcery is kind of a lot, but you destroy, basically it's to destroy all enchantments you don't control, which can be a pretty powerful effect. Alright, so that's actually all of it. The box is empty. We've looked through everything. Move this thing out of the way. As you can see, I have quite the stack here. So this is stuff that I've pulled out, which is either, has some value, or it's something that I want to hold on to, or it's something that I need to check to see if it has value, because I'm not certain. This one, and actually this pile as well. This pile is just bulk foils. Got a bulk foil pile there. We got off to the side. We got this as basic lands. These are all the old border, like the actual old ones. And then there's some down there. There's some Portal 3 Kingdoms lands, which actually have a decent amount of value. Way down at the bottom, there's some revised lands as well, but the Portal 3 Kingdoms ones those will be included in the value. And then this stack is full art lands, and also retro frame ones, things like that. So what I'm going to do now is scan up probably basically everything in these 2 piles, and also the P3K lands, and try to get some values for you. We'll come back in just a moment, lay out all the cool stuff, and do a recap, see how we did. Alright, we're back, and you can see we've got some cool stuff right here. So what I did was scan all of these cards into the Dragon Shield app, as well as this stack that we've got right here, and the total value we came up with was about $650 US by TCG Player market pricing. So 650 US comes out to about 910 Canadian, so we were looking to make up 450. We came up with about 910, so pretty good. So that's for the things which I scanned. However, off to the side here, there was also this rather large stack of cards that I pulled out, which is decent stuff. It has value, and I want to keep some of it as well. I didn't include that at all. I wasn't about to scan up all these 50-cent cards, but it has value. So up top here are the best cards. Obviously they're going to be the ones which were already pulled out because the person had looked through this lot already, but we did end up actually finding quite a bit of stuff which I think ended up getting looked over. So we got the Ristic Study there, is number 1. Iron Mirror is cool because it's the original foil from Mirrodin. Actually holds a pretty decent premium. It seems like it's in pretty decent shape too. One of these old school on whatever lands. Entangler is interesting. It's just an uncommon from Prophecy. It's pretty good though. Enchanted creature can block any number of creatures. Got an Animate Dead there. Ephemerate's great, and Terror Eternal most recently went up. Got a whole bunch of staples and things like that though. Like we got the red and blue blast, things like that. Nature's Lore. Bunch of dark rituals, counter spells, brainstorm, lightning bolt. It's all the good stuff. I also picked out some of these better full art lands. They vary a lot by set, but these tend to be the sets which hold the most value. So we got some Kamigawa ones, some Dominaria United. Ixalan has some pretty decent ones as well. And then obviously we got these Portal 3 Kingdoms lands. Those ones are going to be good too. So we can fan through some of these other cards, which I scanned up. I'm not going to stop at every single one, but take a look at the things that I pulled out of here. So basically what I do with these cards, people ask, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to get rid of $1,001 cards or whatever? Usually I'll buy list a lot of them to various stores, but I also sell them on Card Trader. Card Trader I think is pretty great because it's basically like TCG Player. It's what I use being in Canada because you can't sell on TCG Player when you're in Canada. But I am able to sell on Card Trader, and these cards do sell all the time. So that's what I do for that. I do actually have a referral link for Card Trader if you're interested to try it out yourself, either to buy or sell. I buy a lot of cards there as well, but you can find that in the video description below. And if you register with that link, it'll give me a little bit of kickback. But these are the kind of the cool things I pulled out. Like these are good cards. Tamiyo Safekeeping, that's a great common, things like that, right? Surprised we found both of these Lorien Revealed and this Tamiyo Safekeeping. They just got looked over. They were just in with the bulk. Finhorn Elves, Ruin Crab, things like that. A lot of these old cards, like not the retro frame ones, but the actual old ones, I've noticed those have been gaining value over the past year or so. Like Rewind, that's another one. Tolarian Winds, Accumulated Knowledge. I guess things like that's probably, I'm guessing, for pre-modern play, it must be, because even something like an old school Duress, that one, it's selling for upwards of like $2 when, you know, there's millions of versions of Duresses. It's probably in standard right now, and those ones are basically worthless. So the old border ones are interesting. Lots of good stuff here. So now what I gotta do is basically just organize this stuff a little bit better. Choose what I want to buy list, where to send it, what to put for sale, and what to keep for myself as well. But also, like I've said before, I just enjoy making these videos. Like, I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate. Like, it's fun to look through lots of cards. You don't know what you're going to find. That's the main appeal. Like, I don't really look for lots where everything... There's one of those Duresses I was talking about. Lots where, you know, everything is listed. Sometimes people will contact me and be like, hey, I'm selling my collection. I have... Here's everything in a spreadsheet. It's worth, you know, X amount of dollars. Will you pay me, like, 70% of the value? And that's not really what I'm looking for, because everything is a known quantity, right? Like, what's the point of looking through it? Because I can just look at the list and see everything that's there. It's fun to look through these and find things that you don't know are there. It's kind of... It's not harder to find these on Marketplace and online and things like that. Because sometimes people will say that, you know, the good collections are drying up because so many people are into this now that they just get bought up right away. But there are still... Like, there's always more people cycling out of the game, so... more collections are coming for sale as well, not just being bought up. Anyway, that's enough rambling. So if you're still watching though, thanks for watching. It'd be cool if you can like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Everyone should come join my Discord server. You can find a link to that in the video description below. If you're looking to purchase any Magic cards, you should check out mtgnorth.ca. They're a supporter of the channel, and they're a pretty great store as well. And for all your collection tracking and deck building, check out moxfield.com. You can find that linked below as well. And also, I'd just like to take a moment to thank all the patrons that support me on Patreon. But otherwise though, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.